Good evening, Wildcats. We are here tonight for the Hearthstone's round 3 in the Blizzard Activision official tournament, collegiate tournament.
Currently, they are 1-1, so we're hoping to pull ahead today.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm Zathras, here with the Admiral, and we're excited to bring tonight's match to you. All right, let's talk a little bit about what we can expect to see tonight. We've gotten the deck lists that was just posted, so we can see who's running what. So the teams are going to now be working on banning things out, and we'll be watching for that. So let's start with ACU's lineup.
Okay, yeah.
So tonight, ACU is going to be bringing out a completely different lineup than we saw last week. We're going to see a warrior, but so the same pirate warrior. They are going to go ahead and bring that back. It's a pirate quest warrior. Generates pirates out, and eventually you get this big permanent thing that deals damage, gives you weapons, summons pirates, and it's kind of a aggro kind of warrior deck. Then you've got Paladin that's focused on, it's Libram Paladin, so it's focused on getting cheap Librams out, generating value on board, and winning that way. Shaman is going to be an aggro elemental shaman. So fast pace, deal lots of damage, hit them in the face with Doomhammer several times, and kill them quickly.
Yeah.
And then finally, Warlock is going to be your typical hand Warlock. Deal damage to yourself to gain value and eventually heal that up and deal more damage to yourself so that eventually the damage you deal to yourself does that to the opponent.
Yeah.
One of the things, though, about the hand Warlock is that it's a quest Warlock, but the quest is not nearly as relevant, where the quest is kind of like a side thing that's a good thing to go ahead and play on turn one so you have things to do as you go, but it's not necessarily required for you to complete the quest to win, as opposed to other things like the quest mage or the quest hunter or quest other things.
Yeah, but if you do complete it, it certainly can help.
Absolutely, absolutely. And by the time you do complete it, you're usually to the bottom of your deck, and so you're ready to just use the fatigue that you've got on yourself to kill your opponent.
Yeah.
Okay, so that brings us to the opponent's decks tonight. So what we're playing is the RAMicorns. I have no idea what university this is, but they've named themselves the capital RAMicorns. RAMicorns. To each their own, right?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so they are bringing a quest demon hunter that's very intriguing. It is not an OTK quest demon hunter.
Okay.
And it's not a brute demon hunter like we saw kind of earlier on in the meta. It appears to be a quest demon hunter that centers around fell stuff. So it's a fell demon hunter, but with a quest flavoring.
Okay.
Well,
Interesting.
It should be interesting to see. We'll see how that lines up tonight. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Then they're bringing a taunt druid. It's a taunt / token druid. So it's going to be put up taunts in the way, but has things like your arbor up and your violent squirrels to generate lots of things on board that can hurt you. Not running any glowfly swarms though, which is traditional for your kind of token druid. So we'll see how that one lines up. So we see a completely different lineup for this other team. We do see the Pirate Warrior, but we also see Quest Hunter. So Quest Hunter is that aggressive face hunter kind of style, but centered around spells that deal damage to generate quest value till eventually every time you cast a spell, you get to do an extra 2 damage to something from your hero power. That's the way it'll work. So that's our lineup for tonight. I'm looking forward to us diving in and seeing where we land with that. What is the deck that you're most looking forward to tonight?
I kind of want to see the Pirate Warrior deck work. It's definitely not as strongest. It's not the strongest deck in the meta, but it's definitely a fun deck.
Yeah.
And so I really hope we get to see that one pop off.
I've always enjoyed the general pirate theme, and this isn't the first time we've seen Pirate Warrior in a meta, but I really like the fact that they put the quest that centers around those pirates.
Yeah.
So that should be kind of fun. I'm really looking forward to seeing this. Well, honestly, I'm looking forward to the Demon Hunter on the other side.
Okay.
Like not because I ideally we never see it because we just kill them and that's not ever played. But like I think that it's not one I've seen like this particular lineup before, and so I'm interested to see how it plays out, what their win condition is.
Right.
With it.
Yeah.
Because normally with your quest, you're pairing that with an OTK, and that's your win condition. But it appears that their win condition is likely centered around Jace Darkweaver, which is going to play a copy of every fell spell that they've played that game. And
definitely.
So we'll see how that lines up. So, well, great. Well, they're still sorting out things and working with their opponents to get going here. So we're going to go for a quick break. Don't go away. We will be right back. And we are back. All right. The bans have come in, and ACU has banned away the Taunt Druid, which I think is a solid choice to ban.
Yeah, no, that's definitely the one I was expecting.
Yep.
Either that or the Hunter. But I was expecting them to ban the Druid.
Yep. I think that's going to be the strongest of the other team's lineup, and I think getting it out of the way is definitely the right choice. The RAMicorns have chosen to ban ACU's Paladin, which is also not surprising to me.
Yeah.
I think that's a really strong showing, and especially against their lineup, I think it has good options. So
Definitely.
so for the ACU team tonight, we're going to see the Warrior, Shaman, and Warlock, and for the RAMicorns, we're going to see Demon Hunter, Hunter, and Warrior. And it looks like our first game is starting off. We're going to go ahead and jump in to a Warrior versus versus Quest Hunter here. So 2 quests, both the Warrior quest for ACU and the Hunter quest for the RAMicorns. I think, and so ACU agrees that it looks like this is a decent first pull. The athletic studies there to discover a rush is always helpful down the road, but it lets you get a deckhand out the first tick of that quest pretty quick. I would be actually unsurprised if we don't see a quest turn 1 by ACU. I could see that if I could see ACU starting off with an athletic studies to pull a rush and then going out with a quest.
Nope. All right.
Okay, they're going to go ahead and do that. You can like it's fine to go here. This actually does provide a okay. Well, if they put something out that I need to respond to, athletic studies will let me pull that. So discover first. It's the same concept as draw first.
Yeah.
Always see what you're going to get before you get it. I think I like the Runthak here.
Yeah. That feels like it's going to be pretty good.
It has the hand buff functionality, especially if you can get it down on 4. That could be useful. The Goldshire Knoll isn't going to have quite the value here as you would see in the Warlock deck because you're not going to get quite the same hand size that I expect.
Yeah, your hand's never going to be as full as it is with Warlock.
I can see ACU going ahead and holding off on their quest completion for a little bit here. Go ahead and maybe Reapers the next on turn 3 into Runthak on turn 4 if they have something to run into. That provides them the value from Runthak. Now that said, that's assuming there's something to run into. With a Quest Hunter, it's unlike your normal Face Hunter. You aren't necessarily going to see quite the same amount of minions in play on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think here you just Cargo Guard.
Gotta get through. Load it up.
Requiring response from the RAMicorn here, team here. Otherwise, that armor really can get away with you. One of the nice things about this matchup is the armor gain from the Warrior can help him get ahead of some of the big long-term damage that they're going to run into. Looks like there isn't a quick response, which is great. It's kind of what you want to see here.
Yeah.
There's a Scythe here that can easily take care of the... Okay, so there's... They're going to use the Devouring Swarm to go ahead and use the poison on the minion. Unfortunately, Runthak here isn't really great. It would only buff one thing and it would die immediately to the... So you don't really want to play the Bloodsail Raider without a weapon up. I kind of feel like you weapon up and then just go face. You're not going to get a lifesteal.
Yeah. But I feel like that is still the best value you can get right now, because you definitely don't want to play either minion.
I like them taking their time to consider options here.
I must choose. I wonder.
All right. There he goes. Took them a little bit to come to the same conclusion,
Yeah,
but it's always good to talk it out. There's no reason to rush. That's one of the things we always talk about is
100%.
take your whole turn. All right. So ACU needing one more to for their raid the docks. That'll draw out I think a second Reaper's Scythe is what they're running. So yeah, they'll be Reaper Scythe is the only weapon that they're running, so that's what it would pull out.
Interesting.
Okay, so Thalnos coming in. Now Thalnos is an intriguing card to be running here. I've not seen that in a lot of the. It's an interesting tech choice here for the RAMicorns team. I mean, with lots of spell damage things, it makes sense. Put it in there, and then if nothing else, it's a 2 cost to draw a card.
Yeah.
So the Shiver, their Timbers doesn't feel great here. Gonna
use it anyway, though.
Yeah, I mean, just getting the poison off the board is helpful.
That's true. Because you can't really play any other minions until that's gone.
He could theoretically Nitro boost and then swing in, but like then you lose the real value from the Nitro boost.
Right.
So he's popping the spell, the spell burst there, without really gaining the value from it. But that's okay. We're not looking at a wide minion issue here. Taking advantage of the ability to use the rush on the Overseer, though, I think is a good, or Overlord. That's a good idea.
Yep. And saving that scythe for later.
Yeah, and then that'll give him full value from the Nitro boost, because next turn he can theoretically Nitro boost and then Bloodsail Raider, making that Bloodsail Raider a 9/4.
Yeah.
Now, let's be realistic here. The Bloodsail Raider is not likely to be long for this world, because that's what Quest Hunter does, is it removes things from the board.
I choose quickly.
All right, so Kodo Bane coming out here. That'll provide an opportunity for Overlord to get a little more work done. That also means that he didn't have a whole lot of the spells available in his deck. The deck hand here is not necessarily the best thing you want to see, but you're about to draw a weapon.
Yeah, that's
that
true.
could be helpful.
So, do you trade the Overlord in, or do you?
Well, so right now you would gain no value for it. You don't get anything.
Or
for
I'm
running
sorry,
the Overlord.
I meant after the Nitro boost.
Oh,
Yeah.
after that. No, I think you take the Overlord to face and you clear the Centaur with your weapon.
Okay.
As a general rule, if your option is to preserve health or a minion, you generally want to preserve the minion. Health is a resource that you can maintain, and there's a lot more health on you than there are on minions.
Yeah, yeah.
And minions are going to do the same damage. You want to make sure you Bloodsail Raider before you swing. Can't tell you how many times I have made that mistake. Attack in. All right. Now we've got a 5/5 that's providing significant value, a 10/5 that's going to hurt if he goes face, and a 3/3 that's mildly annoying. But we know that they just drew 3 cards, a 1 cost, a 2 cost, and a 3 cost. A 3 cost would so if they pulled out the aim shot, which I think is what they almost certainly pulled. Yes, that's their only 3 cost spell. So they have an aim shot in hand, which would allow them to clear the 10/5.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're
There it goes.
Quickly.
ooh, but they're still leaving. Oh no, because they. Yep. So that'll be an efficient clear there by the RAMicorns. The ACU team needs something to provide value in their hand, which they're not really seeing.
Glory. I'm here for the gold.
They'd really like to see a Harbor Scamp would be great because that'll give them some extra pirates. In fact, Harbor Scamp is probably the ideal pull here because you get Harbor Scamp into whatever pirate comes out, and then that'll give you your quest completion, which is going to generate ongoing value.
Yeah.
That said, the dearth of minions does pose a problem for the RAMicorns as they try to complete their quest. A lot of their spells are deal damage to a minion. So at a certain point, you have to start hurting your own minions. Though that point is clearly not now.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Sword Eater is not bad. So throughout all of this, we've got nothing on the board, but we've been able to continue to keep pressure on with just damage to the face. And now the Hunter is sitting at 7 health. So they're on a 2-turn clock here when we're at 28 health.
Not looking too good for them.
I say that they're actually on a 3-turn clock unless we get something that buffs our damage.
Oh,
so
yeah,
we
that's
need
correct.
something to do 1 extra damage in the next 2 turns. That could be a so the Nitro Boost Poison would need something to corrupt it. I mean, just getting the Harbor Scamp, that's really what we need to pull here. All right, they're going to have Tavish in hand, but they can't play him this turn, which is great. Oh, I forgot about the
Forgot
coin.
about that, man.
Well, there's Tavish, which is going to mean next turn the damage is going to start coming in quick and fast.
Yes.
Especially with a full hand. One of the things you never want to see a quest hunter with a complete quest that. All right, that'll give him Rukara. And I think you Rukara and go face here.
I believe you have
7,
to. Yeah.
8, 9, 10, 11. They've got 11 in hand or on board though.
Yeah.
But even if he swings in to not face, he's going to take the damage.
Right.
So they have 11 on board, and it's perfectly reasonable for them to generate the extra that they need here with their spells.
This could
Yep, that's
Yeah, that's unfortunate. It was a very close game.
all right. So the RAMicorns taking round 1 with a tight match there at the end. I think ACU did the right thing, pushing forward, pushing in that damage to face the way they needed to.
Yeah.
It just the quest got completed, and they had that extra. So if they hadn't had Tavish out on that turn, ACU could have been fine. But they had that coin that they'd been saving just for such a circumstance.
Yeah.
And made good use of it. So. So that'll take the RAMicorns, give them a win with the Hunter. So that'll leave them with the Demon Hunter or Druid remaining. And, of course, ACU with all 3 of them.
I believe they banned. Didn't ACU ban?
Oh,
the Druid?
ACU did ban their Druid. So it should be Demon Hunter or
Warrior.
Warrior.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. They have their own Warrior.
That's correct. So what do you think the strategy is here for ACU? Do they stay with the Pirate Warrior, or do they maybe?
So they're gonna have to win with Pirate Warrior at some point. If they hold the Pirate Warrior now, they're probably they have a good chance of hitting a mirror match. Which I'm not sure you want to do, but that's what we're gonna see here.
Here we go.
So it's gonna be Pirate Warrior versus Pirate Warrior.
Hellscream's eyes are upon you.
May the best pirate win.
Okay.
Yep, drop the
Yeah.
5 cost. Ooh,
Definitely
this
not
is
what you
actually
want
a nice start off here. You get
It is.
turn 1 with a quest. You get to draw a pirate on turn 2, and ideally you'll have. So most of your pirates are going to be 1 or 2 costs. Primarily 2 costs. You've got a couple 3 costs. So if you draw a 3 cost, you do that on 3. Otherwise, you do a 2 and a 1 on 3.
And either way.
And an extra Harbor Scamp. Where were those hiding last year, right? All right. We played a quest. They played a quest.
In a box?
Yep.
Pirate stuff.
Let's draw another pirate here. The next turn, we can Harbor Scamp, then Deckhand. And if those stick, drop a captain and deal some damage to face.
Yeah. Definitely.
Gotta get through me.
Okay.
Okay. You're gonna want to get rid of that as quickly as you can. The captain, though, will not help with that because you'll need to do 4, and that'll only give you 3. I think you still scamp. Yep.
In a box? Pirate stuff.
And Deckhand, that'll give you
Yeah.
a weapon, which will be cheaper because of your Bloodsail Deckhand, which you can drop another one of next turn along with the freebooter or captain. We'll see what he does. I don't think you're captaining yet, but I think So you can Deckhand and then Reaper Scythe for 2, but then you're just floating a mana, so it doesn't really actually help you. So Reapers and then cutting class, get some extra things here, but that'll let you do a full clear because you got the spell in, and that'll let you
Yeah.
leave your 2/2 on board. So that's one of the differences between our deck and theirs. They're running those the Outriders acts to get some extra card draw because we could have used some extra card draw last time if you remember.
Yeah.
Not that there was much minion on the board to generate that draw.
What now?
So they still need 2 pirates down to get to the next quest step.
So yeah, their pirate warrior is more of a controlling.
What now?
It's almost more control than it is pirate. So it's running your Kresh, Lord of Turtling, your Rancor, and
I'm here for the gold. Glory.
Brawls, Lord Barav, all really designed for more control than anything else.
Yeah.
So the question here is, do you go face? I think holding it allows you to gain more advantage from the freebooter that you've got in hand. Freebooter into Bloodsail Raider gives you a bigger Bloodsail Raider.
Yeah.
This board is ripe for a Rancor, though. In fact, they may be debating right now, do they Rancor and gain 6 armor, or do they swing in and draw a card?
Looks like they're going for that card draw.
In a box? Pirate stuff.
So ACU definitely leading on the quest progression. 1 pirate
Oh.
away from our Juggernaut.
Loss of that weapon is very unfortunate.
Yeah, that would have been nice to keep. The Viper there is a tech card that we've seen a lot of play. It's got the value from being tradable, so if you don't need it, it'll just help you draw another thing that would be better. But when you do need it, it's super helpful. I kind of always wonder if you captain
It's cold.
and just start sending things face.
That's probably the...
I mean, at this point, we've decided we're gonna race, and we're ahead on the quest. The captain makes this board a little more resilient to something like Rancor, though an easy swing in with the weapon will, or the snake, will make it a lot less problematic.
Yeah.
I think it's snake here, and then, but they're still going for the card draw. Off of this
Definitely
weapon.
don't... they might be looking
But they
for
could have Rancor, so I kind of feel like they don't have the Rancor.
Yeah,
'cause
it feels like
that feels like
looking for
it would have been
right
an
now.
ideal opportunity for such a play. They needed the life drain. Got Kresh there that's going to generate them some armor.
Set sail! The Juggernaut is under my command!
Juggernaut's up. Yeah, go ahead and draw yourself. Find yourself a rush minion.
Okay.
Yeah, none of these are really great. I think the Tent Trasher or the Raider. The Raider has Taunt, which could be convenient.
Yeah, I feel like Raider's probably the best option here.
But Tent Trasher is a matter of, do you think it's going to stick around long enough to get that 5 damage in? They don't agree with either of us.
Interesting.
So it looks like they're going to take the Sky Talon in for the clear of the minion. And now they're going to generate 8 armor here.
Yeah.
From the Lord of Turtling.
Wretched story.
All right. They're going to forgo the draw that they get from the rush minion, but they really wanted to take out that 7. Which
Yeah.
I don't blame them.
Let's go.
Yeah, I don't mind clearing off the 3/2 to draw a card. Alternatively, yeah, they can just rush in to draw their card.
Mhm.
And that gives more damage to face, which is what you want.
Definitely.
I want to say athletic studies first. See if you get anything
I seem
interesting.
to agree.
Those are terrible choices. The Vile Fiend is too slow, the bumper card is too small, and the Knoll is just not worth it. You're not going to be generating the cards in hand for it to be valuable.
What now?
I kind of feel like bumper car is the best of the bad options here.
I would agree. Going for the Gold Shire Null instead.
All right, the armor's gone. We're back down to 5 health. They've got themselves a 2/5 turtle spike. Maybe a Barov into Rancor here would be a thing that we wouldn't want to see, but we could.
Okay.
There's the Barov. Even just a Barov into something that kills
Yep,
it. There's
there's
the Barov
the-
into Rancor. It's unsurprising. It's 10 more damage. 10 more armor. But he's just using things, and this Juggernaut's going to continue to generate value.
Job for me.
We don't care about that spiked wheel. Spiked wheel
Yeah.
has attack that's based on your armor. So Sword Eater here
Yep, that's the move.
into another Bloodsail Raider.
X marks the spot.
Rise up, children of the Horde.
Well, that's not really what you wanted to see.
Ultimate Potem.
But, I mean, it's not the end
Yeah.
of the world.
Yeah, it's definitely not the.
I'm here for the cause.
Yeah, at this point, though, their control is becoming problematic. Or we need to get more damage in more quickly. Think they shiver the Overlord's Timbers. Maybe start with the Goldshire Knoll. Shiver the Timbers, hit the 2/2, send everything else to face.
I wonder.
The Scythe is useless unless they play it on their turn. If they play the Scythe now, it doesn't no good. It's gonna be replaced next turn.
Yeah.
More bones
Start with the
to
Knoll.
gnaw on. I must choose.
I think they're trying to decide whether or not they use the Shiver or not. It looks like they thought they might there at the end.
Yeah,
and
it
then
looks like they were
decided not
trying to.
But you know, I don't necessarily mind not.
Yeah, maybe saving.
That
it
said,
for
if I was
helpful.
going to not, I would have not. I would have sent the 5-2 into 5-4, not the 2-2.
Mhm.
I think that was a mistake, where they just made their decision too late. I say that it's possible they're looking at Reaper's Scythe for the next turn, and they want to hold the. They can use the timbers and on whatever comes
Yeah.
out. That taunt's going to be in the way, though.
That taunt is unfortunate.
Grab your cutlass. Let's buckle swash.
And that's going to get their Rokara online. And this is unfortunate. ACU's position on top has found to be problematic. Well, that is not a great weapon.
Yeah. It's probably gonna want to use the scythe there.
Yes, so they're gonna want to scythe. They can shiver off the taunt.
And if they can do one more damage.
But on board, they've got 10, 17 on board, and then 3 in hand is 20. It's more health, but they can armor up,
Yeah.
so they could theoretically swing in
yeah.
and hope for it. If they don't, they can hit the 3/3 right now
Just to.
and clear off all but Rokara herself. They could theoretically shiver Rokara and swing at the 5-4 to clear off all of those and leave just a 2-2 on board.
That might be the. That looks like that might be what they're doing. Okay.
Now they're kind of at the mercy of whatever the Juggernaut
Yeah.
pops out. Ooh. Oof.
Oh, that
Oh,
is
man.
not what you want to see.
Oh, and
right
more
here now.
armor gain. And the bulwark is unfortunate, too, because even if they could push 15 damage, they're not going to be able to push 15 individual points of damage. Oh,
Especially
and the
when-
wagon wheel. I mean,
Okay, so we will get a sword though.
yeah, but it's a sword that can't kill anything. And it's just as good as the wagon wheel.
Oh, you're right.
I would say just leave it, and pass. This is no longer looking good. And that's, I'll be perfectly honest, that's one of the things about Pirate Warrior is closing the deal, finalizing things, getting to the end.
So knowing that the sword's gonna be swapped out on the beginning of your next turn, do you still just swing into the taunt, or
No, I
or
think
keep your 4 life at this point?
you hold on to your life.
Okay.
That said, by swinging in, you set him up so that if he swings into the 2/5, it dies.
Yeah.
And sets it up for being killed by the Juggernaut next turn.
One for you.
Let's see here.
It's unfortunate.
And that's going to be 4, 5, 6,
7.
7, 8, 9,
You kill Hulk, Hanger.
10, 11.
Oh, there you go.
There it is. Oh, no, I miscounted. Where did I get my extra 2? Oh no, I didn't miscount. Yeah, okay, sorry. It was on the hero, but not on the weapon. That's like, yeah, there we go.
That's
Okay,
unfortunate.
so it's it looks bad, right? So they have won with 2 of their decks, but I would say arguably those are their 2 good decks.
Right. So the next one they have is the
weird felled
yeah.
quest demon hunter.
okay.
Which could be just could just throw them off and not do the they're not able to deal with it, or it could just let them come through with 3
Yeah.
solid decks that I think are favored against it.
It's true. It's true.
Now all they have to do is win once with their weird demon hunter, but I think it is perfectly reasonable for us to be able to come back with a reverse sweep. So yeah, we'll be looking forward to seeing what that looks like here in just a second. And the control element of that deck, where the RAMicorns had the same pirate idea, but had the control on their side so that they could consistently clear, they could consistently generate the armor, and over in the end, it gave them the edge up that they needed there.
Definitely.
So ACU, I think this matchup anyways. So and there's not really bonus points for like there's no tiebreaker here.
Yeah.
You either win or you lose.
So it looks like
So
they are
look-
keeping it.
All right.
Hellscream's eyes are upon you.
I
Okay.
definitely do think this Pirate Warrior is ACU's weakest deck. And so if they can get this win, I think that their chances improve greatly.
Definitely.
All right. Harbor Scamp, I think. So
Yeah.
I think that seems the obvious choice.
Got a freebooter. So do
Grab
you?
your cutlass.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then freebooter.
Yep, I think so. Well, freebooter.
Oh,
it's
no,
just,
you don't wanna
It's
do
just 2
freebooter.
damage. Yeah, but it's if you have a weapon equipped.
Yeah.
So I think you armor up here.
Yeah.
Right. So they got their quest. They have their quest online now. It's interesting that they didn't put their quest online. That tells me that their quest is really not the point of their deck.
Yeah.
It's really just the fell demon hunter
grow
part that
impatient.
is important to them.
Definitely trying to get full use of Jace and not focus on the quest there.
So the Fell Demon Hunter does have some of the control aspects that that we saw from the last match a little bit, where you've got a lot of opportunity for clearing through things like Talented Arcanist into Immolation Aura or into Fellscream Blast. There's a good amount of life steal here on the Fell side that will help bring them back up when they get low. So it's up to ACU to continue to maintain the pressure here.
Demons. Demons.
They're kind of acrobatics here. I would assume that they have something in hand to trade to get their quest complete.
Likely, yeah. Or are they just gonna?
And I would guess that they're just trying to decide now which one they do.
Time grows short.
It seems strange to go ahead and drop an acrobatics without the ability to pull your final quest completion.
Yeah.
especially acrobatics is one that you often want to hold. I guess they were hoping to to pull a trade.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Acrobatics is one that you really want to hold until you've gotten Kurtrus down after the quest completion in most scenarios, because it will generate more value because the things that you draw are going to cost significantly less. There's a better chance that you can play both of them and thereby draw 2 again, which will also be able to be played.
But no, yeah, that does seem odd to kind of
So,
forego all that value.
I've got a lot of stuff here, but none of it is really like, yeah, this is super great. Let's do that. This will get them quest completion here, and some damage to the face, which is always nice. I think they make sure they swing in with the 3-1 weapon here, because they're about to get another one online, either from Reaper's Scythe or the Sword Eater. Right now, they're threatening lethal on board, so there's going to have to be some response. I would expect to see some sort of stealth screen blast with a talented Arcanized here. Yep. There you go.
There we go.
So there's going to be some heal up. The 5-drop here just gives them a draw. They don't really care about the 1/3, but it makes use of a card they're not likely to get use of elsewhere. That said, they could Sword Eater into the cutting class here and draw more cards, which I think might be a better option. Or even Reaper's Scythe into cutting class. And then that would give them the ability to drop a deckhand or something like that if it came up.
What now?
Either way, I think unless you're dropping the 5-drop pirate, I don't think you're caring about this 1/3 on the board. They don't have a way to drop it back in their hand.
Yeah, I feel like that's.
And that gets a body on board. And I think they go face, not into the 1/3. And that captain could prove useful. Unless he clears things off here, that captain gives him 6. Theoretically 4 in hand. So he's got 10 available to him. The RAMicorns just looking through their deck here. They've got another Fell Screen Blast available to them. Fell Barrage wouldn't do much good. They could drop a Talented Arcanist with a Discovery.
Okay. Shuffling away the Harbor
They get
Scamp.
to pick a thing. So that is an interesting card. You get to look at the 3 cards in your opponent's hand, and you get to shuffle one of them into deck. So now they know at least 3 of the cards that we have in our hand. And they got to pick one that they sent back, which was the Scamp. Okay. I feel like they would have sent the captain back if they saw it. So they probably saw a Scythe. I mean, they definitely saw a Scythe if they didn't see the captain. So the Scamp, the Scythe, and then either the Anchorman or the other Scythe. I almost say, who cares about the stuff on board? South Sea Captain.
And then go every.
Now, what you do lose by dropping this captain is you deal 2 extra damage, but you have an additional target available for the Fell Screen Blast, which will generate more life. And you might as well shiver some timbers. Get your swings in.
Okay.
And they went ahead and put the Scythe on. The RAMicorns needing to use the Fell Screen Blast. So they're not even... This is interesting. They aren't even running the other... their only healing, their only lifesteal is the Fell Screen Blast.
Interesting.
They're not running I think it's Chaos Blast, which is the 3... Okay, there's 1 tick of Immolation Aura. So he doesn't have a Talented Arcanist.
Okay, well
There's the second Fell Screen Blast. Is he setting up for Jace next turn? He
might be.
Time grows short.
He's gonna have to clear this board or he's dead. Just straight up.
Yeah.
So at this point, he's either figuring out what he can do. Okay, so
Okay, so that does.
Spell Barrage is gonna clear. Okay.
Okay.
All right, let's summon the Juggernaut.
Juggernaut is under my command.
Armor up, swing into face. Jace here. I would expect to see Jace. That'll give him a Fell Screen Blast on 1 thing.
Well, he's already used 2.
Yes, but the Jace would replay those.
Oh, you're right.
Well, that's going to heal him up for 2. Kill a I mean, I don't see a win condition here.
I don't believe
Amidst
so.
the flames,
Okay, maybe I'm missing something. We've got a Fell Barrage, 2 Fell Barrages. Yeah. Another Immolation Aura, Chaos Strike.
And I believe the order of that does
Mean that the Fell Screen Blast didn't.
don't do anything, so he doesn't get any life. from
Well, so
that.
Fell Screen Blast could have hit his guy. So,
Oh, that's true.
all right, ACU taking their first win in the series, bringing it ready, getting ready for the reverse sweep.
Yes,
That's what we need to see here.
definitely.
And I think there's not. So there's a good chance here. I think that every one of ACU's decks is favored against this particular
I
Demon
agree.
Hunter.
I
Now,
definitely agree.
understanding though that favored in Hearthstone means like 55 to 45.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
like it's not a guaranteed shot. That kind of thing. Here in a second, I might see if I can look up stats on this particular deck and see what the actual odds are.
Yeah.
If you're not familiar with Hearthstone Replay, hsreplay.net or com or something like that, they've got stats on everything. So we'll see what they're pulling up next. It'll be either their Shaman or their Warlock. It looks like it's going to be the Shaman.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, I definitely feel like the ACU has a good chance to take this game. They do end up keeping their
mean-
starting hand.
Yeah, that's not a super great hand.
Yeah. It's kind of rough. Yeah.
Yeah. So the ideal pull here from ACU is actually, a Kindling Elemental off the bat into a Granite Forgeborn eventually. Okay, so I think you still play the Kindling Elemental. Kindling Elemental into Totem. That'll then next turn you can drop the Stormer or the I mean, you can drop any of the things you want. At this
Yeah.
point, they're into anything they draw, they can play. This deck is full of very cheap cards.
All right, got another Canal Slogger.
I wonder.
All right, so they can't play both of these things. They get to pick one thing here. I think the granite is what you go for.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
What to do?
the other option is to get stuff on board, but the granite it lets you get more things on board in the future. You don't have anything that's really threatening you right now. Okay, Arid Stormer seems a little more threatening, and will let you drop a totem,
Yeah.
which could provide some value here. Okay, a Might Totem is probably their best option, or sorry, Strength Totem.
Especially hitting that Wind Fury, that the Stormer was very nice.
Yes, absolutely. If you're gonna see where let Strength Totem hit something, you'd want it to be on the 3/5 with Wind Fury, or the
Yeah.
2/5 with Wind Fury.
Demons? Demons.
Yeah.
Okay, so a clear off of 3/5. Great. They're gonna be Alacritus at the start of the next turn, letting them make some progress on their quest, which they have made 0 progress on thus far. All right. Do you ever just... Yeah, I was about to say, do you ever just slam the Doomhammer? Say, let's go. Especially with the Rockbiter in hand. You have just interrupted your elemental chain. But especially if you, next turn, are able to pull, like, second Rockbiter or... well, that's what you'd need, a second Rockbiter, because you're going to be overloaded for 2. I mean, that would be sick.
See.
Okay, so we've got a quest completion 1 for them. At this point, they're just playing out what they have in their hand. The likelihood of them
Right.
going for round 2 of quest completion, that would be pretty greedy and significantly unlikely. Unless they just happen to pull Glide into a good position. But even Glide won't get you there because it's just 4, and you need, in order for it to be a 1-turn move, you'd need the an extra draw from the beginning. I really find this deck fascinating. There's so things like this where they dropped the Outrunner here and drew a card, but oftentimes you want to hold those for your quest completion.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay,
It's not quite the best.
but they could take advantage of the rare opportunity that is having a minion on board to hit the Storm Strike, use the Storm Strike here, knowing that they can Rockbiter next turn. Theoretically, they can... I mean, if they Storm Strike here and then Rockbiter next turn, That's 20 damage over the course of 2 turns.
Yeah.
Not to account for any of the minion chip damage. They have a 2-turn lethal in their hand, assuming he doesn't do any healing with the lifesteal weapon that he has on or equipped, which does seem unlikely. Okay, so they're not going to bother, and they're going to go ahead and drop the granite. Interesting. So they still have 4 more ticks of this, which I think is okay. So that said, they could be setting up. So next turn, that would be 16 damage. So
I got it all.
okay, I expect to see Fellscream Blast here.
I would agree.
Yeah, here it comes.
Yep.
Okay, that's fine. So they can Storm Strike, Rock Biter, and Gyre Worm to clear off the Guild Trader and get 17 damage to face.
17 damage is always good.
Without leaving anything significant up that could generate healing, significant healing.
Yeah.
Looks like they're going to take it a little slower than that.
What to do?
They could Forgeborn, then Gyre Worm, and Storm Strike. Or they're just going for the Swagger here. But
Okay.
now they've just lost theoretically 2 ticks. But they're setting up lethal here because they've got the 6, 12, 16 on the board. Plus, what they don't know is they have 16 in their hand. And so if they say, "Hey, I'm going to take my turn drawing out, clear off the 6-1 here," I anticipate we're a turn away from seeing Jace, which will be a big healing turn again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I say that. I don't know that it would be, because they've only used 1 Fellscream Blast, and they don't have any spell damage out. All right.
Time grows short.
Looks like they're thinking of Fellscream Blasting here. Getting the second one in before Jace on the next turn. It's Chaos Leech getting some healing in,
Okay.
clearing off the board. Okay. Not the end of the world. It does... and they no longer have a target for this Storm Strike. But a second Doomhammer is not the worst thing they could see.
It's
So,
definitely not the worst.
they got 6 though. That's an awkward hand.
Do you...
What?
Hold on.
Now, we do have to be careful. I didn't think about this. They are running a Rust Rot Viper. So
Okay.
taking advantage of this would be good, because if they blow both charges here, and then in anticipation of their next Doomhammer being what they need, that could be rough. All right, do we see a Jace here? Nope. Okay, so we're going into acrobatics.
Okay. It's good not to see the Jace yet.
I don't know that the Jace would matter here, right? So we get 2 Fell Scream Blasts, a Chaos Strike, and a what was the other one that he played out? The Chaos, the other one that's 5 lifesteal.
Okay.
If it's out.
I bet
Cast.
you can do this.
Okay,
Interesting.
that's a waste of an Arcanist. Interesting. I wonder if they're just trying to get their draws in for their quest, I assume. Okay, so they had a plan for the Pell Barrage. That's reasonable. Lightning Bloom's not really going to be helpful, but they've got the Storm Strike here, so they can. They've got the 1/3 here, so they can make use of the Storm Strike. But understand here, they get 1 shot. You should expect that they have a Rust Rot Viper in hand. That said, having no minions on the board, even a Jace right here, is not going to generate any health.
Correct.
But I don't know what ACU is looking for to draw now. I mean, other than your obvious. Have we used? Have
Another
they?
happy guildie.
Okay. Yep, there's the Viper.
Don't like to
You
see
should have
that.
expected. Okay, that's what I was wondering. Is if they had another Warblaze, which they do. And that'll heal them up a little more. Alright, ACU needs something to generate more value here. And that isn't it.
Yeah, it's
We get the taunt. Might as well drop the Vapor.
Another happy guildie.
I see.
So what do you think the strategy here is here for ACU?
I don't know. I mean, they're basically just waiting to draw things. Inara Storm Crash might be helpful if they can get that along with a Rock Biter. But everything's requiring comboing other things that they have in their deck.
Yeah.
A Primal Dungeoneer would be useful because it would get them an elemental and a nature spell, which would get them some Storm Strike or Rock Biter. But this isn't really looking good because yeah, I mean, it's just not looking good.
Yeah.
Another Wailing Vapor is not what they wanted. And it's almost like you almost don't want to play it because playing it provides a target for things that generate lifesteal.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, there are 2 Chaos or Fell Barrages in there that if they drop Jace, you want those to hit your minions instead of your face.
Amidst the flames.
And there's the Jace off
Yep.
the top.
Shall remain. Not many cards left. I am out
That's
of
4.
cards.
Oh, yeah, no, that's going to be it.
Yep.
Yeah, they just couldn't keep the momentum that they needed. And the control elements of the Fell deck are what ended up taking them out.
Yep. And that momentum is key.
right, so ACU getting taken out by the RAMicorns tonight.
But they had a good showing.
Absolutely had a good showing. A lot of close matches there. I think it was still some solid plays by the ACU team.
100%.
You just deal with the cards that you got, and,
Yep.
and that's what you got to do. I think there was just a lineup there with some of the control elements that ACU may not have been quite prepared for right when they needed to. So.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you for tuning in. You should definitely be prepared to come back on Wednesday, where the Admiral himself will be playing in ACU's very first Hearthstone Battlegrounds Brawl. It is in fact, I'm going to let you talk a little bit about the format
Yeah, so...
with no preparation.
oh,
Go.
yeah, no, it's fine. Battlegrounds is kind of like Hearthstone's version of an auto chess. So it's similar to games like Teamfight Tactics.
And auto chess.
And auto chess, yeah, yeah. So you buy minions, and each round you go up against a different one of the opponents. There's a total of 8 players in each game, and your kind of army that you've kind of assembled, they fight each other, and then you end up dealing damage to the enemy's like main character, and then to the last man standing kind of situation there.
Yeah. So there are 8 of them. There are 8 players.
Yes.
Of which you and Isaiah will be one, right? You and Yeet.
Yes.
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 Will be so y'all will be playing together, and then at the end there'll be 4 teams of 2 all playing in this brawl, and at the end you get points based on what rank you were.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're not sure yet. I don't think how you report and how they assign those teams and whatnot. But so it'll be should be interesting.
Yeah.
But we're going to come prepared to cast it, and be set up so that you can watch both the Admiral and Yeet as they move through that battleground brawl. And it's
definitely.
going to be super excited, and I'm looking forward to it. So that'll be Wednesday at around 7. Tonight, though, stay tuned. In just a little bit, looks like about 40 minutes from now, you're likely to see some Rocket League taking on the next round of the NACE tournament tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Then Thursdays, we've got Super Smash Brothers crew battles going on. And Friday, we've got our Wildcat Weekly for Smash Brothers. And then we'll be back again next week for some Hearthstone. And I feel like Rocket League is playing a tournament every weekend, so
Yeah.
I don't know if there's one this weekend, but if there is, you'll get a notification. Make sure you follow so that you can get notified when we go live. But until next time, thank you, Admiral, for being here, and thanks again to Clueless for running production for us. Go Wildcats.
Go Wildcats.